Hi there, hello YouTube, what's up? It's your boy Sakib Shikdar again, back with another video, as you can see and tell. And yeah, as you can also tell by the title of this video, I'm gonna talk about Jezebels of our society. The Jezebelilan Rebellious spirited women. Who are the Jezebels? And who was the original Jezebel? And what defines a Jezebelian, rebellious, God-mocking, blasphemous woman in general? So yeah, let's dive right into it and talk about what's needs to be said and be debated, if not talk openly and out loud. And yeah, by sharing knowledge to each other, giving knowledge, taking knowledge, and also partaking in the knowledge total in general. That's how we learn, that's how we grow as individual and also as a whole. So yeah, so let's talk about it. Jezebel was a woman in ancient biblical time in the great country, or this could be the city of Babylon. And the great prophet Solomon's time when he ruled. The Babylon, was a shining city. It was a golden civilization. Everybody there, knew magic and everything. And yeah, everybody were powerful in that sense. So the women, they were also empowered at that time. And there was one woman, named Jezebel, and she was more like a man than woman, but she was indeed a woman in a womanly body, a vessel, but she thought she was more like a man, or much like a man than to be a woman that she was. So it's no wonder that she took every chance that she could take and find to become a man, or more like a man, even though she was a woman. So yeah, just like women should be on their feminine side, they should be shy, they should stay silent, always keep their voice and lower their gaze, in the presence of a man, a true man. That woman, that Jezebelian woman of biblical times from Babylonia, was the opposite of that. She was a rebellious, blasphemous, God-mocking, anti-God, devilish kind of woman. She did everything God's hate, and she didn't do anything that God loves. So yeah, she mocked God and everything. She was a degenerate, in that sense. She had tattooed all over her body, not just normal simple tattoo like words or name or some image. It was more like the patterns, the devilish kind. And yeah, tattoos are another dimension, have another dimension to it. Tattoos are a portal to another world. All those patterns, all those design, they create portals, and they're demonic, more like they're satanic in that sense. So yeah, that bitch Jezebel from Babylonia, the original Jezebel, has tattoos all over her body. and she was a degenerate. She wore, clothes that were, half naked. All of her bodies are showing, including the private parts and everything. She did wear clothes, but as a fashion, just, showcase. As we all see, the women from our generation, this modern era also wears, they wear clothes, but they still somehow stay half naked, or all their private body parts are showing. Just like if you look at the Instagram, online these days, and also especially the red carpets, they sure wear expensive high-end clothes, but what's the point of wearing clothes in the first place when the main reason you're wearing clothes to hide and protect your private part from evil eyes and lustful eyes, sinful eyes, but you're showing it off along with your clothes. I don't see the point. So yeah, they are degenerate in that sense, and they also took partake in perversion of society and human ideology in general. You might call it that it was everybody has their right to their open sexual expression. Yeah, you have your open right to your own sexual expression, but in your own land, in your own domain, not in publicly. But those who does those things in public and call it I have rights to my open sexual expression, they're the degenerates, they're the god mocking, they're the perverts of their society. That's how our children and our later generation will also learn the perversion and the degeneracy from them, because they seen growing up, so they get the idea, because they knew no better. We humans, we are the mammals, just like monkeys, apes, chimps. We do what we see, we like to imitate. That's how we learn, that's how we grow, ever since your childhood, our childhood, if you look that deep. So yeah, and they have no shame, these Jezebelian rebellious women, they have no shame. They might, twerk or, strip down naked just for, a clap, a cloud, and a good applause. They might do anything as long as, they're being perceived by a good audience, good handful of audience. By good, I mean, no good doers, just who's, like to watch them like that, half naked in their degeneracy, So yeah, they have no shame, the Jezebelian rebellious woman, especially the Jezebel. She had no shame, and yeah, she also had no remorse for the action she did. She used to mock God on a daily basis, She used to, kill the sons of God, the true children of God, the saints, the prophets. She, used to kill them just because they would preach to her and, other people that don't do that. God doesn't like women's showing off her body in public, selling her body, and encouraging degeneracy in society and perversion. The preachers, the pastors, the prophet, the saints, they were all killed by that original Jezebel from Babylonia, just because they were God fearing and they put God words in order. So yeah, the original Jezebel killed all of those saints, prophets at that time, and she was a prophetess of the devil, as we all know, the Baal, B-double-L, Baal, or the Satan, the goat, the peon, the Iblis, the Shaitan. she was a prophetess of her, the Luciferian devil. She also took partake in those two. So yeah, she was a god-mocking, devilish, anti-god, degenerate, perverted, heathens kind of woman. The original Jezebel from Babylonian times. You can look that up in history books and holy scriptures on your own. And yeah, she is also hellbound, just because she thought she was more than a man. A man, just like a man, could show off his body, not all of his body, more like the except the private part, and also mix with other men's, move freely in society and everything, talk loudly. So she thought she was, she was more than a man. She could do what other men do, even more than other men do. So she took her tries and everything to try to be a man, more than a man. And she, labeled as the evil, Jezebelian, rebellious, spirited woman by, other people in turn. So yeah, she is, hellbound for eternity because she didn't like what gods like, and she does everything that gods hate, defies God's order, mock God in his face and everything. So she's no wonder she's hellbound. So yeah, and she also tried to usurp the authority over man, even though in Bible it said that an woman, and godly woman or any woman, should never usurp authority over a man, because in the divine law of creation, in Bible, in biblical narratives and Islamic terminology and narratives, a man is given the dominion, the authority over any and every woman. Not in just our lives, in human lives, but also in animal lives. You can find it in nature that a man, is always more muscular, have more strength or more authority or more power over a woman. It doesn't matter the woman is bigger in size, or have more children or whatever. It doesn't matter, but the masculine is always the dominant, has the dominance and superiority over the feminine. It's just the way of order and things, as I'm saying, as I see have worked out in my life. So yeah, and that Jezebel, woman, the Jezebel doesn't like the father figure or the manly mans of the society. They only likes the boyish boys who more like touch with their feminine side, more like the girly boys. Those women like those, the gayish men of the society, the queers, the peons, the faggots, the gay, the lesbians. They like this because like attacks like, and they hate the man of God, the manly man, the true father figures of our society. The Jezebelian women hate those. So yeah, I told you that Jezebel was heathens from the biblical time, from the city of Babylonia, the country, I don't know what it is, but yeah, it was a country or city in that time, the Babylonia. Now it's just Iran or Iraq, a country labeled as. So yeah, such. Now let's talk about who are the modern Jezebelian, rebellious, spirited women that lives with us. We see on the internet, in the society in general, and also in the streets. They also have the characteristic of the first Jezebelian woman. the first Jezebel. Her name was actually Jezebel. So yeah, this Jezebelian rebellious spirited woman also share the same characteristic of the original Jezebel. They they also mock God on a daily basis with every chance they find in his face. They also get tattoo their body, even though your body is the vessel of God, where God lives in and where your soul also dwells. So yeah, they also destroy their body by tattooing it and everything. They degenerate themselves with nightclub and everything. Nightclub culture, girls night out, on night stands and everything. Then comes the perversion. They wear half naked clothes. They twerk on a gram, Instagram, IG, and OnlyFans and everything. They sell their body, they showcase their body, even to the small children or boys these days. There is nowhere in social media or internet or online that you can go and you won't find a single offensive picture, a thumbnail. Everywhere you go on the internet these days, everywhere you see offensive, perverted kind of thumbnail pictures and everything. So yeah, internet is not safe for us or our kids anymore. So yeah, this Jezebelian, reptilious woman, just like the first Jezebel. They might call it, we have open rights to our open sexual expression, but yeah, you can do that, in OnlyFans, in your thing, but not just do it, on social media. But it's gonna destroy the next generation, and the culture in general. So yeah, you might have one day a style of your own. You might look back at what I'm saying today. You might regret your own action. You wouldn't like your child to be grown up to become a pervert, who only objectify women's body, through their private parts and everything, and doesn't value women as the mothers, the sisters, and the feminine aspects of the society, but only as a sexual object to be gained, or to be achieved or toyed with. So yeah, and these Jezebelian women, they have no shames, no remorse. They're all heathens. They're also hellbound. They become hellbound like that, just like the first Jezebel. And yeah, as the first Jezebel would have done it, they also love and like to usurp authority and over any woman, any man. These Jezebelian modern rebellious women, they will left no chance to usurp authority over any man of God or manly man. They do anything to put down a man, so they just would feel like the man or the woman themselves, even though the man is innocent or more muscular than her, put down on the ground with just one hit, one punch, but they doesn't care. They do anything to put down the man in his place. Even the man place is higher than a woman, because women are created from a man's ribs. So yeah, they doesn't treat us men as the father figure of the society, or as their brothers in that sense. They like us, they only see us as workers, only working class men, So there is a saying, we all know that, only women or children are loved unconditionally. A man's, only love on some certain conditional terms. It's true, the man has to work for it. Only women and children and dogs are, unconditional love by everybody in general. But that doesn't mean, you have to put down a man as a woman every time you get the chance, You don't need to respect the man, but at the same time doesn't mean, you need to put down the man just so you could feel like the man or everything. Because God doesn't like that. God, hates that. God in that sense is also, is a masculine aspect, a fatherly aspect. As we all already know it, our Heavenly Father, the Holy Spirit, the Allah, the Yahweh. If you look at all these names, the name as the name suggests, the God, is the masculine aspects of the existence. And the masculine aspects, also need feminine side to balance it. Or the masculine is just too destructive in itself, by itself, of itself. That's why our mother nature comes in, the Heavenly Father and the mother nature, I think, based on my knowledge. So the modern Jezebelian women, they doesn't like or obey or look down to the father figures or their own father, let alone their mother. They do as they please. They do character deformation of, the manly men or whatever. If they find a single crack or spot, they, sue the man or, harass the man openly in public just because he's a man and, she is a woman. So she can, get away with anything in publicly. But the man can't just because, he is a man. Because, nobody's going to believe a man words over a woman in the society, even though in the holy scriptures and by God's commandment and divine laws, a man's voice has more power and overpower a woman's voice. But in the society we see the opposite in this matrix. If a man says that I didn't touch that woman in public or publicly in mall or in general setting, but a woman says no, that man sure touched me in some private intimate zone, the people's gonna beat that man that very instance just because the woman said it without making sure, double checking or second checking it, just because they could get on that woman's good side or get a free bang on from that girl. So with their high number, they will beat that guy down. Even the guy, the guy never even touched a woman in his entire life, but he will sure get beaten down to the floor. So you get what I'm saying. The Jezebelian rebellious, spirited, God-mocking, blasphemous women, they've been knowing to do that. They objectify their body, their vessel. They put down their hate, what God's love, and they also hate the father figures, the manly men's, and the true religious brother of the society, and they nullify integrity. They have no integrity, These days the women's, they're more like, the digital whores, you can tell them. They think they're, more like men's, more than, even though they're women. Because, a man worth is, defined by how many bitches or how many women he, can have at his possession, as his wife, as his girlfriend, as his queens or whatever. But these rebellious Jezebelian rebellious modern women, they also think that they can also get away with just as men would have. So they be selling themselves at a cheap price on the market, more like the sexual market. They be making porn videos and everything, OnlyFans, and they be saying out loud how many guys they slept with, how many guys they have been ran through by or smashed by and everything, what is their body count. And if you ask any girl in general in an open country from just like US, Europe, Canada, you know how many from any girl from 25 to 25 to 30 age 30 years of age, how many guys she slept with, or her body count is, she's here gonna say her body count is at least 100 to 200, because women's lie because they keep it low, even though men's always keep it high. When it's more like 500, they are gonna make it 100 to 200, just saying, give or takes in that range, even though it's above 500, or could be 1,000, depending on the characteristic or character of the woman, how low it is. So yeah, they have no integrity. They can they think they can compare themselves to men, but a man body is designed to be with multiple women at the same time at a young certain age. And yeah, men aged slower, more like fine wine. On the other hand, women their age like more like they don't age, they rot. So yeah, but they think they can gain upper hand against men and everything. So they be sleeping around with multiple guys on night stand, and getting the telegony, the DNA imprint from every guy and any guy they could find, and it's make up the DNA of their body. They destroy their personality, their face, their faith and everything. They get run to, they turned out more manly from sleeping around with all those men's, getting all those DNAs, the DNA implementation, the telegonies and everything. They destroy themselves, and everything, just because they could get an upper hand on men. So they turned out even before their time comes, they turned out more like a hippopotamus. Their body counts be showing on their face, that how many guys they've been smashed by, ran through, drawn apart by, and they somehow manage to get a nice guy when they hits 40 or 50, when they hits the rock bottom, and they start to finally realize that they have been run through, they have been destroyed, by their own selfish agenda and motivation. They thought they could be a man, so they have no choice to settle down. They finally find a nice guy, the slowpoke, or the nobody who was in the school or high school or in the college. They the guy didn't stand a chance with them in the first place. They hit up that guy, and they get married right away, because they know nobody's even gonna smash them except that guy, because that guy was always friend zone and always a little brother to them. So yeah, just like that guy could never do better than her, she knows she can't do any better than him. So yeah, that's how it all happens. It happens in the society. And also that guy is he also realized that he was just a second choice, second option in her life, always was. So after he realized that it gets too late, he already have honored children by her, with her, so when he leaves her, she has honored 2 children by him. He has to pay the child support, the mortgage or the alimony and everything. She still whores around for the rest of her life, even though she's have children now and everything. So yeah, the Jezebelilan Rebellious, spirited modern women, they are known for those things and these things. They like to mock God in any and every way possible, but they don't realize that God doesn't like to be mocked, or God could care less about being mocked by the likes of them, or by the likes of his children. They only mocking themselves without even realizing it. Because when shit hits the fan, it hits hard and also hits the ceiling at the same time. So they can't even look themselves in the mirror, because if they do, they will see how the monster they have become. But they didn't want it to be this monster, they just wanted to be the man or the woman. But in turn they turned out some monsters, some heathens, some degenerates that people wouldn't take a people even dare to vomit upon their face. So yeah, they destroyed themselves, they have been run through, they have been expired and everything. They are the theophores, the promiscuous woman, the nymphomaniac, whores and everything. So you get the idea what I'm trying to say. I'm not here to trying to put down any women or any God-fearing women or any sisters of the society. I'm just saying that the Jezebelian woman, the first Jezebel used to exist in Babylonian time, and just like that Jezebel, original Jezebel, the Jezebelian evil, rebellious, spirited, God-mocking, blasphemous, the anti-God, devilish woman lives in our society, and what they do, how they live and everything, what's their motive and how their life goes and everything. And yeah, I seen it work out in other brothers' life too. Some brothers are destroyed by just one Jezebelian woman. Their life is torn apart from left to right. If that brother was good, God-obeying, God-fearing woman, but in everything, God-fearing man, but that brother just make one mistake in his life. He just fall in love with one Jezebelious, anti-God, rebellious, God-mocking, blasphemous woman. He just did one mistake in his life, just fall in love with one Jezebel woman, and his life just end up like that. His life is turned into shit. He have no clue what happens to his life and everything. He will be damaged for the rest of his life. He might have to look for another base just to forget her and everything, and he might never get married. He might get scared of women for all his life. Those brothers who had a relationship with the Jezebelian woman, they're the ones who knows what I'm talking about here. So yeah, and yeah, I used to know one Jezebelian woman in my life too. They would never submit to a man. That's their only motivation or ulterior motive or agenda. They will never submit to one man or any man for that matter. They owns the mains, the fathers, the saints, the true gods. They want us to submit to them. The Jezebelian women, that's their agenda, so to speak. But if you look at that way, can a woman really keep a man, submitted to him? A man can really be submissive to a woman? Isn't a woman's role to be more submissive, and a man's role to be more, aggressive or dominant over a man, over a woman? I thought that was the natural role play of the nature and society and the existence as well. But this, as the Jezebelian, reptilious modern women would have it, they like every man or any man, they like or desire, crave. They like them to submit to them, or they might play with the man's life like it's a toy and everything. They might torn it apart, destroy it, turn it down, do character defamation, do public harassment, and gang stalk upon that man and beat him down, might abort his children just to get the man more weak for her, might get married to the man and at the same time whore around just to get back at that man. But they're thinking, just by doing all this, aborting his child, hauling around like an nymphomaniac horse after being his bride wife, they think they can get to the man. But the only thing they're doing, they're mocking God and doing damage to themselves and only themselves. But they're the women, they're the Jezebelian, reptilian, modern women of our society. And as women, the mother and sisters, they doesn't understand what they're doing. I wish they did, but their understanding is limited. So yeah, with that limited understanding, they think they know everything. They know God, they know the mans of God. They think they can usurp authority over mans and fathers and saints and gods and everything. But they don't get it. To be a God-fearing woman, to be a goddess, a feminine woman, to be a motherly woman, motherly figure, they need to be more touched with their feminine side. They need to lower their voice, lower their gaze, speak softly, slowly and sincerely, with compassion and empathy, as mothers would have towards children and everything. That way, they could be free themselves from this illusion or the perversion or the degenerate life they live. So yeah, that's my message to them. If you're a woman and if you're watching this video, do what God loves, and don't do what God's hate or man's hate in general. Because we all have a role to play. If you're a man, then play the role of a man. Be a God-fearing man, God-obeying man, a man of God. And if you're a woman, then be a womanly woman. Be a feminine woman. Be in more touch with your feminine sides. Bring out all those feminine aspects from your life and from your interaction with others. That way, you'll sure get respected, not as a man, but as a woman, as a motherly figure, as a mother, as a sister, as a daughter in the society. So yeah, that was my message to you, the women. As I told earlier, I'm not targeting anybody, or have nothing against any woman in general, but I'm just saying what needs to be said. So yeah, someone's gotta say it. Don't hate or kill the messengers. I'm just here to tell what's happening in society in general and everything. So yeah, you get the idea now what I'm trying to say. And yeah, one Jezebelian woman, one Jezebel was enough for that Babylonian emperor to fall. Because the Babylonian empire fall hard just because its degeneracy and perversion. God put down the whole civilization. And yeah, one Jezebelian rebellious God-mocking woman is enough for to destroy the means of the society and the society in general. So we better put God first in the front line above everything, above women's and whatever, because as a man or as a woman, if you follow God, if you abide by God and everything, you will sure have a happy, blessed life to live and fulfilled life also. And you'll sure have a life partner, who also God-fearing, God-obeying, and we'll be both loved by God just as we are meant to be and created for. And we'll be on God's good side, and we'll one day end up in heaven together and live happily after there. So yeah, if you're a man watching this, don't encourage this Jezebelian rebellious moderns, women that we see on the internet and everywhere these days. Because the good women, you won't find them on the internet. They'll be doing their own thing, you know, from a safe place, maintaining the veil and everything, and their shyness, you know, the feminine women. And yeah, there are some good women, you know, are on internet too, you know, who has something to say, something to share, you know, the business women, or you know, the good sisters. You can also follow them, learn from them, those two. So yeah, you get the idea. So now you know who are the evil Jezebelian rebellious women are, and who was the original Jezebel from Babylonia, you know, the city of magic. So you get the idea. So if you find this video helpful, like, share, comment, subscribe and everything to see more of me, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, peace out, I'm out. Assalamu alaikum.